Hey guys, Reggio here, back with another video and back with another collection flip through. Earlier on, we took a look at my Walt Simonson Thor run. It was one of my first complete runs that I put together, and I was super proud of that. And one of the other runs that I've been slowly piecing together over the last, since I was picking them off the comic book stands when I was a kid, is the era immediately following the Walt Simonson run, which is the Ron Frenz, Tom DeFalco era. This was really the era that I was reading Thor consistently throughout, I believe, late middle school and high school. And these are a lot of the issues, or these are the issues that I was collecting, month to month and reading during that time. So yeah, it's something that I'm proud to say that I have just finished collecting. Like I said, I've been slowly piecing it together over the decades, and then this year I, came into some good luck with running into STL Comics, and finding a good couple chunks that I needed still outstanding in this run, and I wasn't really expecting to finish this run this year, but I needed a couple of those big keys, which I just got in yesterday, and with that, I have finished. And I thought I'd do a quick run through of all the covers of this. Coming originally from the Walt Simonson era into this era, it was kind of a stylistic, more than kind of, it was a really big stylistic change. Even for me back then, Walt Simonson was, kind of the Thor artist, and to go to, I'd say this more sort of comic booky sort of Thor was a bit of an adjustment, but it quickly grew on me, and over the years, I have a really big fondness for what Ron Frenz and Tom DeFalco did for the character. So without further ado, we'll just start going through these issues because there is quite a bit. So I believe it starts on 383. And then the infamous Future Thor issue. I actually really loved this as a kid. These days I can see where, it's kind of a weird gimmick, but he shows up intermittently, I guess, in this run every once in a while. Thor versus the Hulk. And harkening back, this really was my favorite sort of Thor armor. And much like the Simonson Thor, I do need to go through this run again, which after I finish my Superman run, reading my Superman run, which is getting pretty close, I believe I'm gonna start reading this. The infamous Avengers Assemble. Mongoose and Spider-Man. Spider-Man seemed to be popping up into virtually everyone's title. This one's a nice cover. I really enjoy this one. The Earth Force, I never really kind of got into. I believe they weren't in it for very long. I don't know what they went on to do after this. When the Gods Make War. It's only recently where I've come to find Ron Frenz and his sort of Jack Kirby influence. Odin Lives. Supersized 400th issue. Probably one of the worst Thor covers ever. Quicksand again makes an appearance. So I picked up, like I said, I was picking up a lot of these through STL Comics, so you'll start seeing the little price tags in the corner, and then I kind of filled out some of these via my comic shop. I've since replaced them bagged and boarded. So issue 411, this is the first cameo appearance of the New Warriors. So this one is probably the most major key in the run, followed by issue 412, which is the first full appearance of the New Warriors. And I guess with all the speculation over the New Warriors coming into various MCU type things, yeah, these are now really somewhat pricey books these days. Which, it's my pocketbook. It was not a joy. Doctor Strange. I always like this cover for the use of color. The Black Galaxy Saga. Again, you can see the STL Comics. I found a good chunk of this numbering sequence, I guess you'd say. $4.22. And then before we go on to the next stack, I'll go ahead and put up my placeholder buddy. Move Thunderstrike over, prop him up on Mjolnir there. And this is getting into close to when, Eric Masterson is sort of becoming Thor. I believe at this point he kind of is, but it hasn't kind of merged like the Hulk kind of merged. That's coming up shortly. Some of these need to be rebagged and boarded, which I'll do when I read the run again. I always liked Ulik. And then, here we go. Issue 433, which is the, first appearance of Eric Masterson as Thor without the Thor consciousness, but not really. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Eric Masterson basically becomes Thor without Thor's sort of background, so he has to do a lot of hiding of secrets, that he's not actually the embodiment of Thor, the actual Asgardian. He is essentially Thor. So again, I need to reread this to see how it all goes down. But here we go. Once again, the future Thor. This is also, if you notice, the logo change, the masthead change, which I don't know that I liked back in the day, but it's grown on me. It's not the worst. Thor core. I always liked this one. This cover. Better Ray Bill makes an appearance. Return of Donald Blake. One of the things that sticks out in my mind with the the Ron Frenz era is just how small he drew Mjolnir. So this gets back into Odin comes out of his Odin sleep, I believe, and recognizes that Eric Masterson is not, the Thor consciousness, shall we say, and tends to put things back right again for the next few issues. And I believe this is the first maybe full appearance of Blood Axe. I believe there was a cameo in a previous issue, and Blood Axe will go on to be a major villain in the Thunderstrike series. And then we're getting close to the end. And then I believe this is when Thor actually becomes Thor again. But I believe Odin sort of imbues Eric Masterson with, you know, the Thunderstrike kind of powers, what have you. And then this is the last issue, 459, of the sort of the Ron Frenz, Tom DeFalco era. I believe Ron Frenz was still doing the covers at this point, but he wasn't doing interiors. And I don't know if he ever did really finished art per se, but this ends the actual run, and then 460 begins a new writing team, new art team. And I thought I'd just throw these in for good measure. I did continue on for just a little bit. 461, 2, and 463. And I believe that's where I ended my Thor run from my high school, middle school, high school years. And with that, I now have completed the Thor run from Walt Simonson through the Ron Frenz, Tom DeFalco era. And yeah, I'm super stoked to finish these. Thor, as I mentioned in a lot of my other videos, really is my sort of first major superhero love outside of Superman when I was a kid, and now don't really remember most of that. Thor was the first superhero that I was consciously aware of, like collecting, reading and collecting his issues, even before The Flash, and he was the one that really started everything off for me outside of like G.I. Joe and stuff like that. So yeah, I love Thor. I don't give him enough love these days. I've moved on, to Flash, Superman, more DC era stuff, but I really do need to go back and revisit these issues, both the Simonson run and the Frenz run. So we'll see, like I said, after I get done reading my Superman run, which I'm pretty close to finishing that, and I'll start on these, and maybe that'll sort of reignite a lot of the Thor love that I had for the character way back when, and still do today. So anyway, guys, that's I guess part 2 that I wasn't expecting to film yet this year, but yeah, hope you liked it. Hope you like seeing a lot of these 90 goodness covers, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.